Okay, I just had to pick that up. I think I need to bring in that white. There's the white. Now we're bringing the white. Let's see how much brighter that is. Yeah, it's definitely brighter. Just hit the tops of those. Looks pretty decent. Some rocks here. Trying to find the right color for these little rocks here. Okay. There we go. I just need to get a little bit of a darken this. And the black towards these. You can see I'm trying to find these rocks back in here, and a little bit of a challenge there. Alright, but it's slowly kind of creeping in, slowly working. I made another little shelf right there. So water is kind of thrashing through this little area. Here's my white. Alright, so that's starting to look pretty good. Let's take a step back. Right, not bad. Put some of this green in here in between these rapids a little bit. Okay, I think the water is looking good. Let's come back to this tree and start getting in some of these bigger leaves that are really not sure how I'm going to really do that. I think I'm going to try this color and pop in some bigger like leaf indications of leaf right in here. And I might need a workable fix. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go with the workable fix. So let's move all these colors, and I'm going to use the Sennelier workable fix. This is a fixative by Sennelier, and it's going to spray this kind of area right here. And over here. Okay, so I want to be able to stack some colors on it, and we'll just do that much, see what that works like. Now I gotta wait until that dries, but I don't know, you probably can't tell, but it is wet and I need to wait that dry, so I'm going to give it probably 15 minutes here and see what happens. All right, I let that dry and I took a little break, and now I can take my finger over it, and it is totally dried up, and it's going to allow me to get another layer in this little section here. So that's a nice little trick to use, and I used this fixative here by Sennelier. It is a fixative, and you can use it for just what I did there to get some more layers. You just kind of spray the area that you're having trouble with and then let it sit out for a good 20 minutes or so until you can touch it and it's dried up, and the rest of it is still really wet down in here. So I could have used my Krylon workable fix. I think that would have done the same trick, but I'm happy with the Sennelier one. It works just fine. So now I'm going to go back in here and see if I can get some of these greens to sit down and see if it'll work a little bit better for me. And hopefully it'll do that for me. Yeah, I can already tell that it's able to sit down much better for me. I can get some of these leaves down into it. All right, so I start building the leaves off this tree here. You can see how much easier this is having applied that workable fixative to this area. So sometimes I just have to do that and save myself a little bit of frustration, and no problem with that. Okay, so I'm just going to build these leaves out, kind of cover this up. There's still some parts that are a little slick, but most of it is really easy now to just drop the color down. Just kind of rotate the oil pastel stick to get a fresh drop of color down. And then I decided just to go ahead and get some lunch and get something to eat while that was drying, so come back at it with some fresh eyes. Alright, just get some more leaves down in this, cover up this tree a little bit more. Much easier with the workable fix down in place. Just a little bit of black to indicate a branch coming down through here. Looks like we got another little, well, this area didn't spray too much. This will be a little bit harder to get the green to sit, but see if I can work it in there. Okay, you can see as I keep going. Okay, trying to build out these greens as well. Some distant greens, I kind of get blue back in here. A little bit more bluish to it. Kind of blurred out. Getting pretty close to done with this. I'm kind of nearing the end of it here. Nothing just wants to lay down right there. See that? I can just rub and nothing comes off. I have to really press in to get that color to show up. This is the frustrating part. But it is what it is, and just gotta work through those times. This is just a forested little area, so I just kind of make these marks. Hopefully it'll all make sense here. Just gotta look like a bunch of bushes and trees and things of that nature. Some branches in there that kind of stick out. There's some trees here that I can kind of bring back in that brown a little bit. All right, bring in a little bit of some rocks here, different areas, kind of hit the light a little. All right, some rocks kind of stand out. Okay, getting pretty close to done. I knew I was getting close here. A little bit more darks right in there. Pretty much nearing the end here. Let's see, do I want to bring any more to this? Over here with some rocks. Okay, I think I'm about there. Let me just take a look. I could keep working the foliage, but I don't know if it's going to be able to get any more different than what we have here. I think it's kind of is the way it is, and that's okay. Maybe bring a little ochre. Kind of a moss branch or something. Yeah, that works. All right, let's look at the values here, making sure my darks are adjusted right. Looks pretty good. You can notice these are the darkest darks down in here. Just grab a little bit of black in some areas. But other than that, I think we're good. I might poke at it here and there, but maybe the water sprays up a little bit, certain parts. Okay, got that water moving pretty good. See, I kind of save that white for those highlighted sections. A little bit of blue in here. So the river kind of fades out to the back. Okay. Not bad. Let's look at some up close so you can see that really works right there. And the water's moving, kind of a roaring river with the rocks. This section was very difficult, just because I put that blue down first, and I wasn't able to get stacked of colors on top of that. Okay, distant rocks, shore, put in some reds. Impression of branches and trees in the back part of the forest there. And not bad. Let's look at the reference photo. Of course, it's going to look a bit different than the reference, but there's the impression of this scene. As you can see, I could probably add a little bit more of this green up in here. Alright, just kind of bring in more of that. It's getting real gooey, but it doesn't really need it. It works just like that, just fine. Alright guys, I think I'm going to call this one done. It's been fun. My second painting was the Paul Rubens. Let's go ahead and sign this bad boy. Just take a red, put in my initials, if I can do it. There we go. and I'll sign it later on the different part of the painting. I put my fingerprint in there. Okay, I think we're good, everybody. Thanks for watching. Wasn't too long on this one, but here we have Paul Rubens, 100% Paul Rubens on our Spectrum sanded paper. Seemed to work out just fine. I did have some challenges up in this area with getting the colors to stack up on each other. This green doesn't really lay well on top of a Prussian blue, so that's something to think about going forward if I do another painting. I'm sure I will with the Paul Rubens. Again, some close-ups so you can see how that water really works there. Indication of underwater rocks and roaring rapids and rocks and foliage, just like the picture shows. So okay, hope it was all fun for you guys. Please leave a comment or question if you have any for me down there, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye bye. I forgot one thing, and that is removing the tape. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this tape, and I'm hoping it doesn't rip the paper here underneath. But I like to do this and see that nice clean edge here. Okay. Now this paper already had a border on it, a white border all the way around it. So I just used the tape to cover that over so that I wouldn't get, you know, oil pastel and keep that area white. But I kind of like the look of the white border. You just got to be careful when you remove the tape that you don't rip my paper, which is starting to rip over there, so I'll pull it from this side. So guys, go slow. Okay. And then the top piece. This is artist tape, so it's supposed to have less glue on the side there, so it should be easier on the paper. Painter's tape might also work, but I find artist tape is just fine. And then let's get these little pieces here. There we go. And now we have the finished piece here, and I'll sign the back of it. I always sign them in different spots, so because I know RA is real easy to duplicate, right? So I always sign it different other places. All right, not bad. I like the white border. It'll make for framing a lot easier too. This is a 9x12. Okay, I guess that is it. This is the final goodbye for this tutorial, this painting, and this video. And again, hope you enjoyed it, and y'all have a great day. All right, bye.